Yo, 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 happy Wednesday. Yo, it's your boy Lewis over here at Martial Artistry. I just want to pop in real quick because, hey, we got a major update this morning. You know, I'm so stoked that I had to go live. It's 7 o'clock in the morning here in Hawaii, and I just got a notification that Midjourney has released video finally. Let's go. So here's what that means. For those of you who already had Midjourney and were trying to figure out, hey, what video generator am I going to use? Do I need to get a subscription for Kling or Veo or Luma or Runway or Hailu, or what does that look like? Well, now this makes that whole creative process that much easier for you. Here's what I mean. You're now going to be able to generate all of your drafts in Midjourney for half the cost, and then you're going to get it at a better quality level, and then in-house without needing a new subscription at a very reasonable cost. Now you can animate those videos directly in Midjourney. Currently it's only available in Midjourney Alpha on their desktop version, but oh my gosh, what an incredible upgrade to our workflow. So let me know in the comments if you've already tried this or not. I'm already active and working on it this morning before I go to work, and it's my Friday, so this is the best treat that I could have asked for, especially going into a weekend where I know we've got several things that we're going to be talking about on Leadership Lounge Live on Sunday, but this has got to be a major topic this weekend. Like, I know most of us that have been using Midjourney have been waiting for this specific tool. I'm so excited. So let me give some context. One of the things that I noticed just immediately is that, hey, the time frame of the videos is pretty short. Understandable, it's a new tool, so I anticipate that there will be some upgrades. Here's the other thing that I noticed. They've got two different modes, and I'm looking at my other phone here because I want to give some context. I'm going into one of my pre-existing images in my library in Midjourney Alpha. I click on my image to just look at the controls just like you would if you were going to upscale or rerun or remix or zoom out. It's in that dashboard. Now you've got additional options for animating an image. One setting is automatic, so it's automatically going to do it for you and create some kind of motion based on what your original prompt is. You've got low motion, which is they're having the camera move, but not much subject movement, not much movement behind you. Then they have high motion. So high motion is essentially gonna be like the type of AI videos that I've been creating in Kling, where you've got your main subject moving, you've got the background moving, and you've got camera movement. So that's my understanding of high motion. Then you've got manual. So I'm probably gonna start with manual versus letting Midjourney do it on its own. I want to actually control and tell it, hey, make it do this. Because there's such a short time window of how long these clips will be, what I essentially want to do is script out a scene just like I was in Kling, but rerun in Midjourney. So let me give some context. When I'm manually animating these clips, what I'm going to try and do over this first couple of days is something similar to what I do in Kling. I'm gonna start with one action. So the subject walks towards the camera tracks, pans around to behind them and follows them. I'm gonna try and start with the command, and then from there branch out into, okay, let's try a different angle. Let's maybe now try a 360 or a dolly shot or an arc or whatever that looks like for you. But for me, that's what I'm gonna try and start out with is, let's see what the prompt adherence looks like. Is it sticking to the prompt? What does that look like? Are we gonna have to come up with a new prompt framework for Midjourney on the video side? What does that look like? So my first stop is gonna be, okay, what can it do? Where are the parameters with regard to, hey, do I have full flexibility like I do with images? Do I have restrictions? Are there certain types of characters that I can't animate? What does that look like? So I'm, like Uriah says, gonna be pushing the buttons today, tonight, tomorrow. Because I'm off work tomorrow and I know that I've got to take Jen to Costco, I'm probably gonna just live stream from in the car. So you're gonna get some of these like raw live streams over the next week and a half, 2 weeks. I want to get away from being so scripted, and I want to get you guys the information in real time as it's happening. So if you're joining us late or you're watching us on the replay, major update today, Midjourney just dropped their video tool. So you now have the ability from within Midjourney, in their Midjourney Alpha, which is on desktop, you have the ability to animate images right within your Midjourney. Thing I think is really cool, and I kind of talked about this over maybe 6 months ago. The really cool thing is I've been trying to cut down on my subscriptions, and I don't need a new subscription for Midjourney's video platform. I can just keep on rocking, no change in cost for us as a business. So that part is really, really cool to see. Hey, because we've stuck with this platform and this is the place where I do most of my creating, it's a huge benefit for me to be able to just create all of my video all in one place instead of having to bounce back and forth between all of the different generators. So I wanted to give context this morning because I woke up to the message from David and the team over at Midjourney. They're like, hey, we just dropped video this morning. Let me go in and I want to read you what some of the highlights on what they're talking about the upgrades are. The main thing is that the cost for generating the video is actually really, really reasonable, surprisingly so. I didn't think that they would be able to keep the cost low for us, and so it's really cool that just getting in my announcement, sorry. I think they're actually live talking about it this morning in real time like I am. So let me give you the highlights. They talked about, today we're releasing version 1 of our video model to the entire community, so everybody has access. Today's video workflow will be called image to video. This means that you'll still make images in Midjourney as normal, but you can now press animate to make them move. So this is kind of similar to what Leonardo AI did when they dropped their video. So there is an automatic animation setting which makes up a motion prompt for you and just makes things move. It's very fun. Then there's a manual animation which lets you describe to the system how you want things to move and the scene to develop. So as a person who is learning to script out scenes, learning to sequence scenes on my own without a lot of feedback, input, direction, mentorship, I'm figuring it out in real time. This tool of being able to, one, animate it like normally, where you're just doing it to have fun and experiment and test. Hey, what kind of stuff can I make? This is a new tool to me in-house, and I want to be able to not have to download things and just make it within the actual platform. It saves me space, it saves me time. 2, I want to be able to test the system and see of all of that library. So I'll give you a little bit of context on my Midjourney. I'm at 31,652 images. So of those 30,000 images, I now can go back to the very beginning and begin to pick out, hey, take this image, take this image, take this image, and now I can build and script those scenes the way that I actually wanted to back then, but just didn't have the feasibility to do it because we didn't have a video generator to be able to do this. I can speak to my experience over the last, 8-9 months. I've been using Kling AI almost exclusively. It's not the only thing that I use, but that's the main thing that I use, especially when I'm trying to create a new character video sequence, whatever that looks like. So for my AI video, I've been using Kling AI. A little bit of Sora, a little bit of Luma, no Halo, no Runway. I just can't get them to control a person of color in the way that I want to be in full control. So I've stayed away from those two platforms. So for the most part, it's been Sora, Kling, a little bit of Luma here and there. Now I'll be able to do that in-house in Midjourney, and because I've already got my framework for both Midjourney images, and I have 3 Kling frameworks. So one for normal image to video, one for a cinematic way of using their elements tool. So taking 2 images, putting them together and talking about the relationship between the 2 images, plus scripting out the scene. That's the second framework. And then the third framework for me is multi-elements, where you can take up to 4 images and, hey, I want this from this image, this from this image, I want this background, and I want this main subject. So with multi-elements, I have a separate framework for that because it's a lot more complex. My prompts are pretty long, so I just want to give context on that. Those have been how I've been able to prompt engineer for video from a reference image that is typically from Midjourney. Now, with this new workflow, what this means is I'll be able to use draft mode in Midjourney, then make it animate automatically to kind of give me some ideas on, hey, what do I want to make this image do? And then I can go into the manual animation and I'll be able to take my frameworks from Kling and actually go in and tell Midjourney, hey, make it this way. I'll say, and I know that all of the platforms started out in this way. The initial generation length is very short. It's 5 seconds or less. For an editor, for a content creation editor, 5 seconds is plenty of time. I know a lot of people are like, hey, I want it to be longer, and I want it, 5 seconds is plenty of time for you to clip and cut what you need out of that 5-second video and get to the next clip. So the fact that these are short is a little different from me coming from Kling, where I typically make 10-second videos. I make those 10-second videos so that I have more to use without having to recreate a scene. In Midjourney, now you're going to be able to kind of rinse and repeat, and this is now where permutation prompting is really going to be key. I want to clarify. So for me, when I'm prompting an image, I'm usually permutation prompting. So what that means is I'll take and put inside of those curly brackets 4 different things. So let's say medium shot, long shot, wide shot, telephoto lens. That would be one set. The second set for me would be lighting. So I go cinematic, moody, volumetric, golden hour. So 8 total permutations in one prompt. What that will mean is, hey, it's going to start to pair things together. Hey, these two, these two, these two, these two. And then a bunch of variations. So essentially, I will get 16 prompts that are mixed differently, what I might suggest this upcoming week is try and do that with different poses and camera depths to build out one scene. So what I'm going to try and do is take one character reference, omni reference, whatever you're using. I'm going to take that one character and permutate that. Multiple camera angles and multiple poses. So that hopefully, ideally, it's going to keep that one scene set of images cohesive for one scene, for you to build out one scene. So, excuse me, the permutation prompting is actually going to come in really, really handy. And if you can master the either character reference or omni reference, you have the unlimited ability now to create a full feature-length film on your own at cost. There is no more need to do to use a lot of different tools. You now have the ability to consolidate everything into one platform. So Midjourney is now my all-in-one. And then in tandem as a backup, I'll be using Kling for, I wonder if I can pin that in the chat. Let me see if I can pin this in the chat. Bear with me. I know I got a referral link for Kling. I'm not in my studio, as you can see. I'm out in the shop. I've got to finish up. I gotta finish up some bottles. I got new merch coming for Leadership Lounge. I've got to finish Miss Adama's. She's got one that's special for her. And then I am gonna be working really hard on trying to come up with a framework for Midjourney, for the video tool. So essentially for the next week and a half, probably 2 weeks, I honestly probably about a month of playing around in there to come up with the newest framework, the newest way of being able to communicate and speak Midjourney, if you will. That's essentially what I'm going to be working on. And what I might suggest for others who have been with me on this journey, you've been around Unleashed AI, you've watched Leadership Lounge live, what I might suggest is going back into Unleashed, taking a look at the guide section before I revamp that. So I've been saving a video section without putting any content in there. I'm going to be adding this Midjourney video into that section. So go back, take a look at the Midjourney image framework set of videos so that you can get kind of up to speed on, hey, I got my images dialed in, now I'm going to video, and they're going to be high quality images to video because they're already in your Midjourney portfolio. So something that I might suggest also is the thing that I was not good at when I first started was being organized with regard to all of the video files. So something that I've done after the fact is go back and make folders for the different type of videos that I'm creating in Kling. So I have a Kling Old Man Marshall, I have a Kling Lewis character reference, I have a Kling Kiddos, I have a Kling Tech, I have Kling Ladies, I have a different set of folders. So I might suggest that as you're starting in Midjourney with another set of videos, just start out and get yourself a folder. If you know that you're going to be trying to create a specific sequence, go ahead and name that folder and just start dropping stuff in there so it's not so overwhelming. One of the things that for me, because I do so much creating on the go and I'm on my phone most of the time, I have a ton of files everywhere. One of the things that I'm starting to do is sequence some of those in a way that I can come back and reuse them later. So let me give context. Sometimes I will go take a set of AI videos and go into CapCut or Filmora, whatever your video editing tool is, and I will put together short sequences, 30 seconds, a minute, just so that it's kind of packaged together. I cut out all the fluff, get rid of all the fluff, and so that I've already got, hey, I know I want these videos to go together, so I'm going ahead and packaging those ahead of time. I see Kim's in the house. Hey, I know you have to be ecstatic over there, Kim. I'm over here. I had to just go live. I posted earlier. I saw your post, and I'm like, I am already generating videos on the back end. I was just giving some context, talking about new workflow. I know, giving context on my AI video journey. I've been at this since October. I started from scratch. Just, hey, simple prompts. The dog ran down the street, to, hey, the dog ran down the street, grabbed the ball, came back. Hey, the dog ran down the street, the camera tracked him in a drone style shot, arced around to a 180 degree, and zoom pushed into the dog's face as he picks the ball up. Like, there has been a progression for me over the last 9 months, but it started from a very simple way of describing what I want to see. With today's update in Midjourney, you now have the ability to, one, let it do it automatically where just the camera's moving, or automatically where, hey, it's a little more dynamic and complex. You also have the option to manually, hey, make it very simple, and make it manually move. You can manually describe to it a prompt or a sequence. And then the high movement is more me personally, my style. I will give some context. I like to create very immersive scenes with characters of color. Like, it is more difficult to make a person of color move and stay coherent or cohesive in video than it was in creating images. So for me, trying to master keeping that consistency in the face, consistency in the hair texture, consistency in the facial features, the skin complexion, as the video is very, it's not just a person walking straight on, it's not just the camera arcing, it's everything happening all at once. Hey, the background is moving, the person is moving, the camera is moving. It gets closer to a real video or a real sequence. So for me, I'm really trying to go outside of the box with how I describe each scene. So I'm gonna play around with, hey, let Midjourney just cook and let's see what it comes up with on the automatic side. And then I also want to, in tandem, use each of the frameworks. So I talked about, I have a Kling just image to video framework. I have a Kling elements framework, which is 2 images that are being blended together, where you're describing the relation between the 2 images and then telling it a command of, hey, now make it do this, because this is my idea for the scene. And then in tandem, I have a multi-elements framework. So instead of it just being limited to 2 images, I've now expanded out to 4 images to be able to take advantage of using Kling's multi-elements tool. So now that I'm playing in Midjourney with their video generator, I'm curious what that looks like for each of those already pre-established frameworks. Can I get them to work, or do I need to come up with a closer to a Midjourney prompt versus a ChatGPT description in terms of how you're describing your scene? That's kind of where I'm going to be playing around this week. Will it take the same, when I'm in Midjourney, and I know we're going to be going over this weekend, but this is helpful for somebody else who might be catching this on the replay. When I am generating an image, I'm keeping a very specific set of elements that I put into that prompt. So image type, media quality, a description, art styles, lighting settings, a camera, a lens, my parameters. That's essentially how I come up with each of my images. Doesn't matter what the image is of, whether it's a person, it's a place, it's a thing. That set of elements is how I come up with my images. From there, what I had been doing is been going over to Kling and making it animated in Kling or Sora or Luma, not Halo, not Runway. I just don't get good results with people of color from those two platforms, so I'm in those less often. Not to say that they're not a good tool, it's just for how I use it. It won't work the way that I would like to make it work. So need more practice, but I don't have a lot of time and I don't have a lot of revenue to spend on hey, VO3 this week, Halo this week, Runway this week, Luma next week, Kling next week, and now you've got Midjourney. Hey, I already have a Midjourney subscription, so this upgrade is actually free for me because I've already got the annual subscription. So I have 6 months to get it figured out and figure out, hey, am I going to cut out some other unnecessary tools and make this my main tool, or am I going to find that new hybrid of, okay, I can do Midjourney for this specific action, I'm going to use Kling for this specific action, I'm going to use Luma for this specific action, and I'm going to use Sora for this specific action, and just keep all of them. I don't know what that looks like, and I continue to say this, that there is no perfect way to get from start to finish. We're all figuring this out in real time, so that's part of why it's so important for us to continue to share the information. Hey, I don't know what I don't know with regard to prompting for video, because it's a new thing to everybody in general. So it's really, really important that we share the information. And so me going over, here's how I come up with images. Here's how you get from the static still image over to an actual first rough draft of video. One of the things that I say is, hey, don't be satisfied with the first results. Like, push the system, put it back in and change something. I'm gonna say this weekend on our live stream. I want to challenge everybody here this month for the rest of June. Your prompt to chat is, hey chat, make it better. You'll just make it better. Make it better, make it more detailed, whatever that looks like for you. I challenge you this month, for the rest of the month, say to chat or whatever your generator is, hey, make this better. And if you're not depending on the tool to make it better, how do you tweak and adjust your description to make it better? I see we got Jay Slay Art in the house. I see Kim is in the house. She said, yeah, I'm going live too. This is huge. So true. Hybrid for Kim. She says she's going to save money. I know. Hey, having this one workflow in-house is really going to be so critical for small businesses, small business owners, entrepreneurs, new content creators that are just figuring it out. The fact that you can use the draft mode and generate the images for half the cost at really good speed, then you have the ability to, like I said, I'm going to be permutation prompting. This is my key. So for those that are going to be active on Midjourney today, I might try this. I might have this actually in my clipboard. Bear with me. Yeah, hey, you know what? I'm going to be trying this today. I'm going to try this as a set of, hang on, let me write this out. 75 millimeter lens. Sorry, bear with me, guys. I just want to write this in there so that you have an idea of what kind of permutation prompt I'm going to be working on. Where's my other curly bracket? There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm out of my shop, so I'm trying to do this on the fly. I got to go to work today, but I wanted to come out here, and this is too big of an update not to talk about it. So what I did was put in the chat 2 permutation prompts, and so what creates the permutation is those curly brackets. So you see I've got 2 sets of curly brackets, and inside of those curly brackets I've got 2 sets of things. The first set is both art styles / lighting settings that I want to just influence my overall scene. Then the second set is my lenses. Hey, how close or far away do I want this image to be? So what I'm suggesting for, as we're prepping for video, try and put in those permutations. In one set, put your lighting settings or camera settings, lens settings. Put that in one set. In the second set, I might try and suggest that you put different poses, different poses. Like, hey, an action shot or an action pose, a candid pose, 3/4 pose, a straight on pose. Like, whatever that looks like for you, I might try and put that one set with different poses for your character, and then one set with different lenses for the character or distances that you're shooting this from. And then in your prompt, I might character reference, omni reference, whatever that looks like for you. I'm gonna be diving into a bunch of this stuff this weekend when we get back to the lounge. We had a week off, which we kind of needed. We went 6 straight months with no weekends off, so our team definitely deserved the weekend off, and we'll be back this Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern here on Facebook, also on our YouTube channel at Leadership Lounge Network. Let me drop that in the chat. So yeah, does anybody have any questions, any comments, anything that they want to talk about with regard to this latest update? I don't normally do the live right before I go to work, but this was too important. I can't not talk about it. So yeah, I want to give everybody an opportunity to ask any questions. If you have anything you want to know about my process, how I do what I do, please drop it in the chat. Hey Adrian, I see that you're in the building. You said yes, you're trying to figure it all out. We're all figuring it out. That's been one of the really important things for me as a creator that came into AI. I really wanted to make it a point to teach and share how I do what I do, because this is such an important tool. AI is such an important tool that there will be people after us that need to learn this stuff. They will need to learn how to generate images and videos so that they can do their own marketing, so that they can come up with that idea that they see in their head and they just need to get it out. I want to be able to share how to do that. And when I started, everybody was charging $200, $300, $400 to just teach how do you prompt for an image, how do you talk to ChatGPT. And I thought to myself, hey, our community is already behind with regard to a lot of things, and so a lot of this information can be, yes, sold, but there's some of this information that you really don't have to charge a premium rate. You can just do your due diligence to help your peers. So that's where I started. All of the people that were peers to me, learning and figuring it out, I just started with them. Hey, this is how I'm prompt engineering. This is how I'm coming up with people of color in my artwork. This is how I get it to look closer to realism. This is how I get it to go outside of the normal box of, how do I say that without being offensive? How do I make my images not look plastic? I'll say it that way. I want more detail. As I mentioned, hey, I'm an airbrush artist. I'm out here in my airbrush shop. So something for me, put more detail. Got to get more detail. Just got to make it look closer to realism. Does it take time? Yes. Does it take practice? Yes. Do I use my AI as my ability to sketch concepts so that I can not be sitting and drawing all day in real time and spending hours and hours and hours on things? AI helps me do that. So there's got to be other people that are using this in a similar fashion. So how do I help them the same way that I have received, hey, try it this way. Hey, try and say it this way. Hey, try and put it in this way. Try and move it around and try and mix your sentence up. Try and add a camera and a lens. Try and add lighting in more than one place in the prompt. All those things, I was like, okay, cool. Let me just start recording this. It doesn't have to be perfect. Let me just put this in video format and compile it somewhere. So our Unleashed AI Creativity group has been that space. And the guides that are at the top, that's where I put every single thing that I learned from the beginning till now, so that there's a new person, and I'm going to pick on you, Adrian. It's not anything personal, but as you've got a new person who's saying, hey, I'm trying to figure it all out, they have a set of resources to go back and research and look into, that they don't have to start from scratch. Does that make sense? They don't have to go pay a premium rate if they can't afford it at the very beginning. They might not even want to explore this further. So trying to find reasonable options to help is so critical. Kim, I want to shout you out. I know that you have, and if you can, drop your link in the chat. I know you've got an event today and tomorrow, if I remember right. Wednesday and Thursday. I think today is her Midjourney walkthrough, and tomorrow is the AI video walkthrough and course. I can say that I took the AI video course back in March or April, whenever she did the last one, and it was extremely helpful for me. One of the things that I was trying to figure out at that point in time was, hey, how do I sequence this? How do I get this to look more cinematic? I want it to look more like a real production. So going through Kim's AI video, AI film for beginners, that is the way that I was really able to, now I see the whole picture. I see more of what we're actually doing because Kim was willing to share that information. It didn't cost a lot. It was actually very reasonable. And the value that I got out of the course helped me to be able to now explain in further detail how I've been doing what I've been doing, because I didn't know what I didn't know. I didn't know terminology. I didn't understand, this is what this means. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. So, hey, Kim just put in the comments her link to her free Midjourney and AI film for beginners course. The first one is today and the second one is tomorrow. I'm going to try and get to the one tomorrow, but I know that I've already promised that I'm going to do the Costco run on Thursday because I didn't do it on Father's Day. So I have to do the dad duty stuff, and then I'm going to try and definitely come and pop in. That was a really helpful course for me as I was trying to figure it out. So I really appreciate that you're continuing to do things like this. And I know for us this weekend at the lounge, I can't speak for the other two co-hosts, but I know I'm going to have to talk about this Midjourney update. So I want to circle back around and just say, There's no there is no wrong way to do this at this point. We're all figuring it out. And, something that has been really important to me is putting myself around others that really want to get to the next level. I'm hanging around filmmakers and editors and network owners and of all kinds. And so what I'm doing, instead of focusing on where the peers are in the space, I'm trying to get ahead to where those visionaries are in the next space. So in the filmmaking space, in the media space, I want to spend more time around those individuals. So I appreciate the fact that Kim drops information, that she's so free and willing to share information, participate in whatever's going on. She didn't have to come pop in the live, but we share information. Same with Justin. I saw Jay Slay art in the building just a little bit ago. He's another one, just willing to answer questions, willing to share information. Uriah, same deal. Adama, same deal. I'm trying to put myself around another group that is willing to share the information, do the work behind the scenes, and then package it, and let's redistribute it to the next group up. One of the things that I say is like, my kids are watching all of what I'm doing. You guys don't think so, but my son had just got his own camera. He's 10 years old. He just got a camera. He got a microphone. He's walking around the house filming everything. And now he's like, hey, Dad, I'm reviewing footage today. Can you help me with edits? And it's like, hey, that's what it's all about. My middle daughter, she's coding. She's better at coding than I am, without question. And she's middle school age, so she's coding at a rate where she's going to be building systems before she gets out of high school, like easily. My oldest, she is less interested in the content creation, but she really enjoys prompt engineering and creating her concepts for her fashion designs. So there's a use case for it for someone else that you don't know is watching at a later date. So the fact that you are willing to jump into this AI space, the creative space, the film space, whatever that looks like for you, I want to encourage everybody to, one, share with your fellow creator, especially the ones that are actually trying for themselves. I encourage you to pour back into them. It's a very small group of us that are actively trying to get to the next level and share the information in real time. Pour back into your fellow peers that are doing that. Two, I said earlier, for the rest of the month, today is June 18th, there are a lot of people that are using ChatGPT for creative process, feedback in terms of reformatting information. For the rest of the month, I challenge you to say to chat every time it gives you a response, hey chat, make it better. Make it more detailed. Refine that process. Do not just settle for that first result. Actually make it do the work so that we can get to a point where we're increasing the value of what we do and put out into the feed. You can't just throw stuff out there anymore. That day and time is over. And then the third thing that I want to just articulate, and I know that I'll have to get a little spicy on Sunday and talk about this. Hey, stop copy and pasting prompts. We're at a point where you are going to have to learn how to do the process. And I want to reiterate, hey, I'm here to be a resource, always. We've compiled enough information for everybody to kind of get a jump start and then come back and ask the really refined questions for how to do something. And I often say, hey, if I can't If I don't know how to do it, I'll learn and we can learn together, and then I'll create content around it. I don't mind doing that. I think it's important that we share this information. So the other thing is tap in with the other peers, the other resources. Like Kim is offering a free course. She dropped the link in the chat. You've got Midjourney and an intro to AI film. This gives you a great start today, and tomorrow. So that's going to be really key. As I see we're getting close to the point where I got to go in here and get changed, I want to give a couple updates real quick. So Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be live on Leadership Lounge Live. This week is going to be episode 65. I know it's been an interesting couple of weeks. I did drop the full interview with Justin Sims yesterday. It should be up in the exclusive section and also on my Fanbase Plus. So definitely check that out. It was a really, really dope conversation. I am looking forward to getting tapped in with him and actually doing a follow-up, because I just don't think we had enough time to cover everything that I would have liked to. But I think it'll also be a good opportunity for us to kind of revisit when I'm able to catch up with him. Hey, what does the AI video process look like now that we've got Midjourney video? I wonder what that looks like for him. So the other thing that I will say is tomorrow here at Martial Artistry, we are going to do a flash sale for our prompt packs. So tomorrow is Juneteenth. Could be the last official Juneteenth. I don't know that. I don't want to jinx it, but I wanted to do my part to pour into the other creators. So we're going to do a flash sale. There is a code for you to get a discount as well. Take advantage of this. This is a really good opportunity to, one, go to the free Midjourney class today. Go to the free AI film class tomorrow. Come through Martial Artistry and get both image and video prompt packs, and then over the weekend test this Midjourney video tool. So you've got a really good runway to have a very creative end of June. And like I said, it's really going to be important to share the information. I appreciate the fact that you guys continue to tap in and pour in and support me in the ways that you do, and I just want to say thank you. It really is very important to me to continue to put this information out and get it to you in real time. It is a very, very tedious and difficult process, and it's not for the weak. It's a thankless job sometimes, but the thing that has been really important has been to be able to watch the people that I'm pouring into really flourish and grow in the ways that they have outlined they really want to grow. So I just want to say thank you to you guys for, one, trusting me, two, pouring into me just as much as I pour into you guys, and then just always being supportive. I really, really, really love y'all. I appreciate y'all. And if there's anything that I can do over the next couple of days, please let me know. If there's something that you want to cover with regard to Midjourney and the new video tool for this weekend, drop it in the comments or drop it in my DM and let me know, because I know tonight I'm going to be pretty much in Midjourney all night. It's going to be a late night. Tomorrow I'm off all day, with the exception of my Costco run. I'm probably going to be playing around in Midjourney. So if there's stuff that I can test or help with, please reach out, let me know. I'm hoping that I get to see you guys in the class both today and tomorrow. And if not, I really, really, really hope that you come through on Sunday, because this will be a good opportunity to learn some more about how we do what we do. With that being said, go into Midjourney this morning and go test that video. take some of your old images and just run it through and see what it looks like. What kind of results do you get? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it too stiff? Is there detail? What does that look like? Go push the buttons. Go test. And when you're like, hey, I don't know how to get it to move like this, remember, us over here at Martial Artistry, I got a prompt for that. I got a prompt for that. Whatever it is you're trying to figure out, I got a prompt for that. So, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. If you need anything from me, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to be a resource. I'm going to go test some more AI video in Midjourney, but I wish y'all the best Wednesday possible. I love you, and I'll see you guys again soon. Peace.